Will Boruto end up with Sumire or Sarada? Now, in my comment section below, there's been like an ongoing conversation that my subscribers or viewers have been having, and it's not really a conversation, it's more like a comment thing where people write BoruSumi or people write BoruSara. And if you guys don't know what that means, BoruSumi basically means that Boru's gonna end up with Sumire, and BoruSara means that Boruto's gonna end up with Sarada. And I'm here to weigh in on that, and I'm here to give my opinions upon what I think is gonna happen and who I think Boruto's gonna end up with. Now, it would be ridiculous if I didn't mention the fact that Sumire isn't in the manga and she's not in the movie, which basically means that the writers didn't really plan to have her in at that certain time. Now, a lot of people automatically feel like Sumire is going to be a filler character because of this, and I disagree with that, mainly because of the fact that Denki and Iwabi were pretty much confirmed as canon. Now, if you guys remember a couple episodes ago, we had that episode where Denki and Iwabi were trying to pass the exam, and the whole episode was basically about them. And if those guys are filler characters, that means the whole episode will be labeled as filler, or at least it would be labeled as some filler or some canon. And it was not labeled as that, it was labeled as canon, like flat out canon. So that's telling me that those guys are canon. Another thing is the fact that the writers don't actually know everything that's going to be in the actual anime at that time. For example, in terms of Boruto's dojutsu wasn't in the manga and it's not in the actual movie. So just because something is not in the movie or the manga doesn't mean that it's not going to be in the actual Boruto anime. Just to give you guys a heads up, the fact that Sumire isn't in the manga and she wasn't in the Boruto movie doesn't really mean a lot. And another thing, Sarada does spend a lot of time with Boruto, and that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. I have like a female friend that I knew since I was like extremely young. That's the same kind of relationship that Boruto's gonna have with Sarada. My relationship to that female is like, that's my best friend, or like that's my sister. Like, I wouldn't try to get with my sister or something like that. So it'll be kind of weird if Boruto would form that kind of relationship with Sarada, because he automatically feel like Sarada is his sister. And as you guys know, they will be spending a whole lot of time together because they're on the same team. So that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. I'm gonna give my opinion right now. My opinion is that Boruto will end up with Sumire as of right now, and Boruto in the future, when everything's said and done, will end up with Sarada. Now, there is no surprise that I'm team BoruSumi. I've been saying this from the jump. I've been saying this for like a couple of weeks now. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be going out on any dates or anything like that. Matter of fact, they might, but it's going to be very apparent that they like each other, and Sarada is really going to take the background and the love thing at the start. Now, there's no surprise that Sumire reminds everyone a lot of Hinata, and that's kind of true because a lot of people are calling Sumire like a bootleg of Hinata. But another thing is the affection that Boruto always shows to Sumire. Now, if you guys remember back when Sumire was in the hospital the first time, Boruto really took that to heart because he was like, oh, one of my classmates actually got hurt by this and I was supposed to be the one protecting my classmates. And I think Boruto took that over the edge a little too much. Like, he got really upset that Sumire was the one to get hurt. And I think that Boruto, because of that, had a little bit of affection towards Sumire. And I think the first time I actually kind of had an inkling that Boruto liked Sumire was when some guy named Magi or Magui or something like that actually tried to get with Sumire, and looked like Boruto was a little bit jealous, tad bit. But looking past that was the event when Sumire actually came home and we didn't know if Sumire was going to be sent to another village or she was going to be sent in jail. She actually came back to the Hidden Leaf Village and she came back to the academy, and Boruto gave her that look. Sumire gave him that look, and Boruto eventually gave her a thumbs up, and then Sumire started crying, which was like an extremely cute moment, and it was like, oh, you feel me? Not only that, but in that exact same scene, they played the song from the Naruto, the last movie, when Naruto and Hinata were having their moment. So that tells us something. So I think that right there tells me that Boruto probably likes Sumire, like most likely. Now, here's where things get like a little bit interesting, and this is mainly stems from the fact that Sumire probably will die. I feel like Sumire in the future is going to die, and Boruto is going to lash out with a whole lot of rage. And a lot of people have been projecting that he's going to actually go rogue, and I hope he doesn't go rogue, but I do think that he's going to lash out with a lot of rage, something like how Naruto felt when Sasuke actually left. And Naruto always wanted to go on missions to save Sasuke, but in this right here, Boruto's always going to want to go on missions to avenge Sumire, and it's going to be like that, I feel like. And that right there is going to cause Boruto to get extremely stronger, because as you guys know, the reason why Sasuke got so strong is because of the fact that Itachi left him. Itachi Itachi died, and I know it's going to be on a totally different magnitude just because of the sheer fact that Itachi killed his whole clan. Itachi basically murdered his whole family, and then this right here is just going to be like a love thing. And of course, Boruto is not going to feel the same type of hatred towards the person who killed Sumire as Sasuke felt towards Itachi, but I feel like this is going to be something that's going to fuel Boruto just because of the fact that he wants revenge. This is just a hypothesis, but it doesn't even have to be Sumire. I still think the overall plot of somebody dying and Boruto trying to get revenge for them is going to be a relevant part in this actual storyline. But as of right now, I feel like it would be smart to make that person Sumire. I feel like this is going to play a big part in the war that's actually going to happen when Kawaki actually comes and Kawaki is going to actually fight Boruto. But here's the thing, I think after that, obviously I feel like Boruto is going to win that fight, that battle between Kawaki, whether it be talk no jutsu or whether it be him actually killing Kawaki. I feel like Boruto is going to actually end up with Sarada. During this time period, Boruto and Sarada are going to have like a disconnect because Boruto is going to be off doing his own thing, looking for revenge for Sumire, while, you know, Sarada is just in the Leaf Village or something like that, not hanging with Boruto. And then after the war, Boruto is probably going to like chill for like a couple of years and then find out, oh, I like Sarada. Sarada's been here all the time. She's always been with me, something like that. And then they end up together. One thing I want to say is that the kids' dojutsu between Sarada and Boruto is going to be extremely interesting. A lot of people have been saying that they don't like Boruto being with Sumire because it'll be the same thing as it'll be like Naruto Part 2 or something like that. But the thing I want to say is that right now we have Boruto with the dojutsu that's unknown. It'll be the same thing in the future if Boruto and Sarada has a child. It'll be another child with another dojutsu that we don't know about. And it's the same thing with the Jinchuriki thing. A lot of people have been saying that they don't want Boruto to be another Jinchuriki, but because it'll be the same thing as part 1. The next child, I don't know, whatever his name is, Yudoto or something like that, I don't know, is going to have the same kind of plot or same kind of main story as Boruto, a dojutsu that we don't know about. But I do eventually think that Boruto and Sarada are going to end up together, and that dojutsu of the child is going to be extremely overpowered and extremely strong. It's going to be unique, one of a kind, of course, because I really don't think a Hyuga and Uchiha actually made it before. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Just as a summary, I think that Boruto is going to end up with Sarada later, and I think he's going to end up with Sumire as of right now. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys comment the first 15 minutes to be featured in my next Boruto video. But it's been your boy Barbie, and we out.